Come all you oddballs. Welcome, you weirdos. You beatniks. You ravers. You thumbs that are sore. Enter you outcasts. You opulent offcuts. You selfless eccentrics. You jesters and thugs. You scribblers, scramblers, loners and ramblers, dandies and hooligans, bloody and grubby and grieving and knackered, enraptured, ecstatic and lost. There is space here. There is still and safe and endless space. A stage. A place to breathe and be and give the being names. For untold shaking, worn out scraping, exalted declarations, joyous and inspired, there is a home here. A place for aching bones to shelter for one night. Hello everyone. Lovely virtual village haulers. My name is Rowan McCabe, and I've been looking forward to this. I tend to pop up on here about once a year, usually around Christmas time, reading out poems. And this is my last gig of 2023, so what a lovely way to go out. If you are tuning in and you're up for it, I would like to know where you're tuning in from, and I also want to know what your favorite kitchen utensil is. I'm quite interested in this, right? I don't know whether it's because I'm getting a bit older, right? I'll show you mine, right? I got this year. This is my favorite kitchen utensil. It's a mini spatula. I love it because not only has it got a tiny little hedgehog on there, which is fantastic. It's also I don't know, maybe some of you don't have a mini spatula, right? I didn't used to have one, and I did see one once or twice, and I thought, well, what's the point in that? What could you do with one of these that you can't do with a regular spatula? But oh, how wrong I was, people. How wrong I was. The amount of times you got a jar and there's like a bit of jam and you just say, oh, there's so much jam in there. It's just stuck behind the groove. If only I had some sort of tool, something I could use to get it out. And that's what this is. So yes, do let us know what your favorite kitchen utensil is. Oh, hello there, Lisa, tuning in from Sherwood Forest, even. On your holidays. Fantastic. Let us know what your favorite kitchen utensil is, if you've got one. I'm going to read a poem in the meantime. This is a brand new poem. And yeah, a couple of weeks ago, the Virtual Village Hall got in touch and they asked us to write a poem that was reflective, something that was looking back on the past year and drawing some conclusions about it. And it was an interesting request because I suppose I'm doing that around about this time of year anyway. I think a lot of are kind of looking back on the past year. And if I'm totally honest with you, this time every year, pretty much about now, I am looking back with feelings of regret, really, and disappointment, kind of looking back on the past year about the things that I never quite managed to do, the things I never managed to tick off the list. It's probably why my favorite Christmas song ever is War Is Over by John Lennon, just for those opening lines, So this is Christmas. What have you done? What have you done? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I had to think about it. I'm not 100% sure. I discovered some special deodorant for trainers. So I got my trainers really wet over the summer and they were drying out and they started to really smell and that. And it turns out you can get special deodorant for them. You stick that in, sort it out. Not really sure what else I did apart from that, to be honest. That's no, that's about it. So yes, anyway, I'm gonna share my poem with you now. I've never shared this with anyone before, so we're gonna find out whether it's any good in real time. This is called Stock. It's that time of year again when I start looking back on all those opportunities that slipped out of my hands. The woulds and coulds and really shoulds that weigh around my neck. Those summer days I wasted on the sofa in my pants. The novel that I started lies unfinished in a box. The saxophone I dreamed of busking with now gathers dust. I'm no black belt in karate. I've never done a skydive. I've learned no word of Spanish or overcame my fear of snakes. I've been saying I'll take a driving test for nearly 15 years. The way the months accelerate is frankly quite amazing. I've been threatening to put up shelves and build a garden shed, but something else I own is always breaking. And I wonder, is this it? Is this the closest I will get? Am I doomed to live a life that always falls short of my dreams? Will I ever be the feature guest on Desert Island Discs? Will I ever patch the cracks up in the ceiling? But it's so easy to be critical, especially of ourselves. It's a much harder job by far to sit and count the ways that quietly and without fuss we've leapt over life's hurdles to deviate, to make a little change. This year I taught myself to bake a birthday cake. All the filling leaked out, but it tasted pretty good. I've been to meditation class 4 times since October. I've spent a lot less money than I used to in the pub. I camped out with my friends. I fixed a broken suitcase. I swam in the North Sea and it was freezing. I made some space to breathe, to face mistakes that haunt my past. A wound I've carried round for years has finally started healing. And none of this will win a medal or be front page of the news. Some of it I've never even mentioned till today, but when every great accomplishment will pale before another, it's so painfully important that we take some time to praise these little steps, these subtle ways we've bloomed and we have grown. The stuff that no one else would even really know was missing. Because we're failures and we're victories are over in a moment. But these little things, they make a life worth living. So there we go. That's my new poem for you. Lisa says she's going to teach us Spanish. That's fantastic. Thanks very much, Lisa. Oh, and is also from the Northeast as well. Oh, lovely to meet you. Trisha has a favorite kitchen utensil of the peeler. I think that's a good choice. Excellent. I mean, there's a lot of different things that need peeled, isn't there? It's a reliable tool, that. And Catherine, hi Catherine. Catherine's is the mini chopper. Nice. I'm interested. The mini chopper, though, I'm assuming that's electric, right? Is that like one of the blenders, or is it just a very tiny knife? I don't know. Do let us know. That's the kind of thing that keeps us awake at night. I think we should have a Christmas poem. It feels like cheating if I don't read a Christmas poem while I'm here. I've got my Christmas jumper on here. I don't know if you can see that. I put my most festive Christmas attire on. Yeah, and it feels like if I don't read one, it's going to be cheating, really. I wrote this for the Virtual Village Hall a few years ago, actually. It's about my hometown and what Christmas is like there. For those who don't know, I grew up in a quaint ex-mining town called Hebburn in the northeast of England in the South Tyneside. And I love Hebburn. It's where all my family are. And I left when I was 18. I didn't go very far. I just moved to the city centre in Newcastle. But I suppose, especially the area I grew up in, you might not describe it as picturesque. You know, it was a new build, private social housing estate. Had a lot of structural problems with the building. It wasn't, it wasn't what you think of when you think of a picture postcard Christmas. And I suppose as a child, without fully comprehending it, there was always a bit of a disconnect for me at Christmas when you watched a Christmas film or read a book or looked at a Christmas card. All the representations of it never really seemed to match my surroundings and what I was familiar with. And yeah, despite all that, like Christmas in heaven is lovely, and I'm not gonna get over there this year. I'm gonna be visiting some in-laws in Lincolnshire, so maybe I'm feeling a bit nostalgic, but it made us want to read this. This is Christmas in heaven. Christmas in heaven isn't cinematic. It isn't chestnuts on an open fire. The bits that spring to mind are less dramatic. They are not soundtracked by a festive choir. It's my mum besieged with sellotape and gifts at 11:15 Christmas Eve. As dad steps in unsteady from the longship, a heavy afternoon out on the peeve. It's getting to my nana's bungalow and squeezing in a corner of the kitchen. The living room since filled up long ago with hordes of overstimulated children. It's rushing to and fro from house to house to make it back in time to eat the roast. A frantic whistle stop around the town to chuck some gifts about and hit the road. It's paper hats that always chafe and squeeze. Cracker jokes, nonsensical and vague. Remembering I've thrown out the receipt. The kitchen sink stacked high with dirty plates, but outside, there's a stillness in the streets. All life's complications are on pause. The calmness that descends when shots have ceased. The closing of some long forgotten war. And though you know that it can't last forever, everyone you pass seems more awake, more open to the presence of another, even if it's only for a day. So there we go, obligatory Christmas poem in the bag there. No way, Lisa is from heaven. Oh, this is typical, isn't it? Right? This is for anyone not from the Northeast. There's this joke, right, that wherever Geordies go, you're always gonna bump into another one. You could go all the way to Japan, or like Hong Kong, and you'll get off the plane, and the first person you bump into will also be a Geordie. Yes. Oh, fantastic. Yes, Lisa's gonna tell me mum that I've written a poem about Christmas in heaven. Fantastic. I think I might have told my mum already, but yeah, do feel free to pass the message on. I can't remember if I did or not, to be honest. But yeah, hopefully the message will get to her one way or another. Right, I've got time for one more poem. Before I do that, I just wanted to say that I have some books for sale if anyone's interested. Remember that a poet is for life, not just for Christmas. You can go to rowanthepoet.com and there's a little button that says buy a book on there. So do check that out. I also just wanted to say a massive shout out to the staff at the Virtual Village Hall for having us on here again. It's always lovely, and it's just such a great thing. The whole Virtual Village Hall. There's so many things on, all kinds of different things. Meditation classes, Spanish classes, which evidently I haven't made it along to, but maybe in the new year, maybe that could be my New Year's resolution. But there's all sorts of things, isn't there? Art classes, and it's all free for people to access, and I think that's such a brilliant thing. So a pleasure to be involved as usual. I'm gonna finish with this one. So over the summer, I was doing a poetry residency for Hexham, on Hexham High Street, which isn't too far away from where I live. And if you've never got over Hexham, it's a lovely, lovely part of the world. And it was a fun thing to get to do. It involved me standing on the high street with a big yellow sign that said free poems and bothering passers-by. I would do really short poems for people and then collect ideas for new ones as well. And one of the people I got chatting to was Diane. And Diane takes in and adopts animals. So often animals from farms and factory farms and things like that. She's got chickens and goats and sheep and dogs and all sorts of things. But I found out while I was talking to Diane, did you know this? There is a right and a wrong way to pick up a snail. Did you know that? I'm 33, right? And for the past 33 years of my life, it turns out I've been picking up a snail wrong. I've been doing it wrong. You're not meant to just grab it by the shell and pull it. Apparently, it can cause the snail pain. It can make it really, well, it can cause it pain, and it's not very nice for the snail. And apparently, what you're supposed to do is give it a little tap or a flick on the shell, and it's like a little warning for the snail, and it'll let go of whatever it's hanging onto, and you can pick it up. This poem has absolutely nothing to do with that, by the way. I thought you might like to know. I'm just trying to spread the word, really. And I found it useful to know. But this is a poem about a snail, and I'm going to finish with this one. It's called Hell in a Shell. You call us a misfit. You call us a pest. You say you're here to erase us with powder and pellets, but I've got news for you, mister. It might come as a shock. I'm a garden snail, baby, and I'll never be stopped. I'm a vexed garden snail. I'm here for retribution. I'll scale over your wall with precise execution. You laugh at me because I'm slow, but I'm just biding my time, cruising at my speed of choosing on the highway of slime. Hell in a shell, titanium teeth, and I might just take a wonder on your favourite leaf. So back about on my face or prepare for the damage. You better lock up your lettuce and cover your cabbage, because I'm the snail of vengeance. I'm bringing the pain, mostly during the evenings or after the rain. You seek a greenhouse for solace, but I'm a serious mollusk. I pack more G-force than a Porsche underneath this back bonnet. Stealthy, relentless, rough, compact. I will mess up your allotment in 10 seconds flat, and I'm here to let you know I'm in control of this patch. I'm not making a threat, I'm just stating the facts, so have a think on that. I won't ever be halted. Even if your soil is soapy and your gravel is salted, I'm a psycho snail. The time's come to move quick, because I'm one big foot making a kung fu kick. Thank you very much, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Have a good one. Take care.